Awesome, and I'm here with Kuja and Zero, and we have a special guest called Ivan, or Wiggy, as I like to call him. And he might pop in here and there, and it's all fun and games because he's part of the group. Anyways, we're
He's
talking
a
about the
little
third
wiggy.
anniversary. Our little Wiggy. Wiggy Wiggy Wow. Wiggy Wiggy Wow Wow West. I mean, just don't want
Oh
to get
God.
copyright. Anyways, we're talking
Wow.
about the third anniversary this week, along with the two new units we currently got. This is all a little late. Just basically had a hard time getting the gang together. Mainly is because nobody has a PC that can record this, or in Kuja's case, he doesn't want to do it. Um, sorry, that's just messing. Anyways, let's get started. We've got Chocobo Rain. I'll let Zero handle this one actually, since he seemed to know more about the unit than I did.
Okay, Chocobo Rain. Chocobo Rain, we're getting two of him for this anniversary, and do not pass on this guy. He's a four-star unit, a four-star base unit, who is basically his. You're gonna value him for his TMR, which is increased from the JP side. It's much better than it was. It gives you flat 30% stats across the board, with including an attack, defense, spirit, and magic, and includes 20% HP and MP. So it's better than Adventure 3. In every case that you're going to use this,
Yeah,
it's
and
really good
it's
for any unit.
Also, you
better than a lot of
don't
other
run
So
four-star, five-star TMs
you
for
don't need a
tank.
yeah,
TMR farm this guy yet because you are getting his Moogles in the polls for this rate or this event.
Yep.
for the anniversary
Yep.
And it's
polls,
likely
right?
that you're gonna end up with more than enough for both of them, in my opinion. Because I almost have mine max, so we've only had 250 tickets. So
Right. So in terms of the unit himself, he's really not bad for a story event unit or a carry unit because he can do all the elements, as well as fill your Esper gauge or your LB gauge for the party. So he's really not bad for a carry along. If you have if you're doing a lot of story events, he's very good in what he does. In terms of trying to do damage and stuff, he's not going to be doing any kind of significant. He has no, well, he does have a chaining family, but he it only unlocks when he counts.
Another nifty thing is the fact that he actually gets benefits from Rain's equipment and the new equipment we get this event.
hmm
So,
Yeah, so you can build him beefy if you.
yeah, take advantage of
yeah,
that if you are going to be using him.
yeah. But mainly he's really a TMR fodder because
I've got,
and he's
my
a free
gosh,
TMR
and
fodder.
trust. He has in trust. That's awesome. I didn't even realize
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, but
Well, for beginners, setting up LBs is a pain in the butt. So the fact that he has in trust and he can decrease attack,
well, how much is his L? His LB's cheap too.
so it just
Yeah, he's very the one of the best supporty units to just help everybody get Esper
he's
and
basically a combination
basically.
of Vagrant Rain and regular Rain, isn't he? With more
Well, he
elements.
doesn't provoke. He doesn't provoke,
Well,
so
he
he's
has
not
Undermine.
Vagrant.
He has Undermine Plus. Well, I thought Rain didn't provoke. You had to put Golem on the provoke.
No, Vagrant Knight Rain. I think he's a provoker.
Oh, okay. I forgot.
Isn't he a provoker?
I don't remember. I didn't use him ever, so I don't remember. um,
He is a provoker.
well, he's kind of a green mage. That's nice. Um, he's kind of a breaker. I mean, for beginner units, 40% is not terrible. It's not good for like end game
It is
content.
very terrible.
Well,
It
you
is
have to
very
realize
terrible now.
I used a 40% break going all the way through second season almost.
Okay, so if you're a person who has just started the game, it might be useful.
He has LB fill rate increase and LB gauge increase. That's really nice too. And that's yeah, Chocobo Stone, yeah.
And the reason why he's so good for a story unit is because he can dual cast his moves. You can put LB and Esper Gauge up if you want. You can use Esper Gauge up twice. He's really fantastic at just building stuff and supporting. Right. So can we move on to the other unit?
Yes.
Eileen,
Ayaka.
why?
Kumamoto Ayaka. I don't know. I picked her. I just had her first.
Kuja, be our
Anyway,
guest.
um, Ayaka has a good TM. It's a robe
First
with
of all, what
68
kind of
spirit.
unit is she?
She's a magic damage dealer with some support.
And her
Well,
damage
she's
is
a
based on her spirit.
spirit damage dealer, yeah. Her TM's pretty solid for a
For
healer
TM, yeah.
or her.
The biggest problem is that
I
it's
mean
only
that.
got light resistance. There's a bunch of other things that'd be really nice.
Yeah, but it's got a ton of spirit on it, and a lot of
That's
the
true.
time, that's what you need.
Well, it's
Her
got
TM, her
20% more defense
STMR
stuff.
is a hat with 94 spirit and more light resistance, and it gives you 20% MP and 2 LB crystals per turn. Uh, it's fine. I mean, honestly, we've already had Krilla's STMR is essentially the same thing,
Yeah, but this
but
is
I
a
think it's
unit that's
better.
fully in it. Well, Krilla's is better because it has a lot of elemental resistance as compared to that one. That one only has
Mm-hmm.
30% to light. Krilla has 20% to 6 different elements, if I remember correctly. I just don't remember off the top of my head because it's not a
Yep.
full stack, which would be nice, but it's not there. Um, well, her equipment is
Yeah.
pretty standard. I don't know why they even put rods on her, but they put rods on her. But
Yeah, they did, but you wouldn't want to use them because all
I,
her skills are spirit based.
I know, but I wish they kind of put daggers on her, daggers and
Why?
staves. Mainly because of the fact that it would be nice to have her LB fill rate with the dagger, and there is a spirit dagger available, so there is that option. It's not the best spirit dagger in the world, but I mean, it's the one from Rem's event. And then
She's
there's
got attack
also
passes. Stupid.
no, I understand, but
Uh,
the dagger has spirit on it. There's
no.
also
I'm like,
oh
I was looking at her passes, and she's got attack passes on her. That's why. Anyway, she's a spirit damage dealer that chains with multiple different kinds of families. She chains with uh, Absolute Mirror of Equity, Stardust Ray, and I believe she also chains. I thought she chained with Chaos Wave.
does not say she does unless no. Is her
Maybe
LB
they
chain with
changed
anything?
stuff.
I only
No,
remember
I doubt
seeing
it.
Absolute Mirror of Equity, so I could be wrong.
Anyway, I mean, she chains with some decent families. She's a damage dealer again. I'm not super excited.
I mean, to me, the only big benefit to having this kind of a damage dealer is the fact that because she's a spirit-based damage dealer, she's very
Oh,
defensive.
yeah, she's a little more tanky than a regular damage dealer.
And that's pretty
Against
much,
magic, though.
well, yeah, but I mean, if you have a physical tank, a magic damage dealer or spirit-based damage dealer is really nice to cover all your bases. She
Yeah,
also has LB fill rate. She can inflict stop, which I guess would only be useful in arena. She
right.
can heal,
Because
but wait. Oh yeah, it does have a modifier with heal. So yeah, she can decently heal. Not great, but decently because it is a regen instead of an actual just a full straight heal.
yeah, it's part of her support ability.
I just
She's got some support ability, but it's not a ton. I mean, and it's like Dance of the Gentle Moonlight. Like, why the? I mean, unless does her when it says it adds at light element to physical attacks, are these like physical attacks or are they like magic damage? So then it
unless they're treating her like Lilla can add elements to herself, and then she can attack.
Um,
So I'm assuming they're
so
treating her
so
like
as
Lilla.
as far as yeah, as far as I can tell, Ayaka is basically she uses physical attacks with spirit with magic damage based on her spirit. Right?
So she
Physical
uses
uh,
attacks,
physical
physical attacks.
killers.
Right? Yeah, she can apply physical kill. Right? So it's physical attacks using magic damage applied by her spirit. Scaling.
I don't know. I'm just not super excited about this one.
Well, to me, the reason why she's not good, in my opinion, is because her step up is terrible.
Well, that too,
Mm.
but again, and she's not even I don't think. I mean, I don't even think her damage is even top tier for what we have out currently.
Well, it's not top
Well,
tier if you
her best
compare
move.
to Xeno and Bunny Girl,
Yeah, but
Esther.
like, I don't think she's better than like Sabin or Red 13 or anything. Like, she's not.
Like
That's
I
the
said,
problem with this banner.
her character is, in
Is
my opinion, is just a strong attacker. She's actually pretty strong, but very defensive at the same time.
Yeah, because I mean she has the same advantage of in terms of Lila being extremely tanky in terms of spirit. If you go into a magic fight where you expect to take a lot of magic hits, she would be a pretty good option. Um, and basically that's how you, just the same way you would use her, you would use Lila. And she also substitutes as a healer if you want to remove a healer from the party
Not to mention
because
she
it's
can add
Ayaka.
stop resistance and spirit resistance to all allies.
Yeah, so even though she's not going to be doing like any kind of top tier damage, she is going to be substituting a healer and also being able to take a lot of hits. So if to me, if that's the kind of battle you want to go into, she's a really good option.
Mainly because the reason why she changes the healer is because of her Ascension God Rainments, which is a massive heal spit over 5 turns, which means you only have to cast it once, and then for 5 turns it has it up, and you can supplement it with Healing Dance, and then just do damage. The
yeah,
one thing I'm kind of like confused about is why do they do this? Absolute Mirror of Equity for the Dance Blazing Flower and Dance of the White Lotus for the Stardust. So frustration ensues. Her non-elemental should be the highest damage because she can always add element to the non-elemental if she wants to.
yeah.
Then her blaze should and the dance of blazing and dance of white should be her lower tier damage dealers, so that I guess that this one no I'm just I don't think it's that great.
Now,
It's
again,
it's
yeah. I
annoying.
mean, I think you're trying to make a unit seem better than it really is. It's not that great.
Well, I guess her
The
strongest
reason
is
the
non-elemental
reason
because of
why right, the
this.
reason why she would have been better in that way is because she would be able to take advantage like of elemental weapons the way Lilith did. She can put on an elemental weapon and still take advantage of it, or killers. But because her strongest abilities are locked to fire and light, it
Unless
kind
you
of,
want to unlock her other stronger ability. Because remember,
yeah,
she does
it's
Yeah,
locked to
unlock.
fire and light, and it's also locked to a certain chaining family. So
Because the problem is she's a step up character. Because she goes from you would if you were going to use her non-elementally wise, unless you were going like fire or light, you would go uh, introduction crashing waterfalls, which unlocks progression wild spirit for 6 turns and increases the modifier by 3 turns. So when you come over here to progression wild spirit, it becomes a 10.8 times modifier spirit scaling, and it increases the modifier for 6 turns for Scarlet Kagura, and then unlocks Scarlet Kagura for 5 turns, which means you go down to her 10 times modifier, which becomes a 16 times modifier, and do that. It, those are non-elemental at least. I will appreciate that, but by the time you get to the bottom here and then you have the modifier for 5 turns, you're gonna have to refresh your your
imbue.
elements, yeah, and that's so basically you get it for 3 turns and then you have to refresh it and then you can use it one more time and then have to start the refresh all over again.
Yeah,
Um, she does at least have a Transcending Heavens, which is a 28 times modifier, which is also, thank God, non-elemental, but it's only 1 turn. Um, she's a dual wielder, right? Yeah, dual wielder. So you wouldn't have to dual cast her abilities, but you can. So I guess it's not completely awful.
yeah. Um,
She's decent.
is there anything else?
I wouldn't go for her.
nope.
If I got her, I wouldn't complain though. Zero, your
Can we
thoughts
move
on
on
her?
to?
What do you think about
I
her?
think she's I think the fact that she has the same benefits that Lolo does is pretty nice in terms of where you would use her, but in terms of her rotations and her locked elements and chaining families means that her synergy with certain people is going to be really weird. It really highly depends on who the rest of your what other units that you have that would work with her is going to kind of limit the way you use. That's just my.
So would you pull for her on this banner?
If you had
Hell
units that synergize, sure, but if you don't, then no.
Okay.
You know.
All right. Well, last but not least, we got Dressy Eileen for the new units.
no. Yeah, same thing.
I
Damage dealer,
I
not that
I
exciting.
like her
I
TMR and
disagree.
STMR, and she has a nice rotation. I just wish this banner didn't suck to
I mean,
pull on.
I'm looking at her. I mean, her TMR is good. It's 60% attack with a gun, and increases resistance to blind, sleep, and paralyze.
Only be clear about
That's a
paralyzed.
solid TMR.
And
Is
she
her
also
STMR really
has
that great? Like, I would rather have Jake's STMR.
Uh, but it is
Jake's
better
the same.
than Victor's TMR. And yeah, Jake has the bonuses, but if you're not, like for example, this raid, I am not using LBs on it, and I'm using Regina,
Yeah,
so
I mean, I
this would be
guess,
better
but
for that. But how often are you gonna care that much about that? Not
not
really.
Not
very
to
often.
mention, okay, so in my opinion, based on what I've seen about her, she is a solid AT um, absolute mirror of equity chainer. She basically constantly can run triple cast every single turn. And Eileen being Eileen, she can use all the equipment in the game, and you can equip her any way you want to. It's really nice, and she's
I
just
mean,
basically she's a solid damage dealing unit. She's not the best,
you can equip
and
her anywhere you want, except she misses a ton of damage if you don't equip her with a gun.
well, yeah.
Does she actually
I'm
have?
just saying.
Yeah, with the gun. Yep, you're right.
She's got 50% with a gun, and then you need her gun mastery to get the 100% double hit.
That's what I was asking.
Mhm.
I was just double checking. So, because
So yeah,
there
she
are
can.
there are cases when the gun wouldn't be
I
the
mean,
best. But yeah.
not often because you're losing a lot. I mean, you're gonna have to compensate for a ton if you're gonna put any other weapon on. She's gonna do significantly more damage with a gun.
I'm just disappointed she
Yeah.
only works with one family. I was hoping that these would be more
Yeah,
versatile
Same
units.
same here.
Um,
I agree as well.
she's got um, what you call it,
if anything, some of the lower damage skills
and
could have
trust.
been. Yeah, she does have Entrust. Um, but isn't her LB like one of her redeeming features? So it's 29 times modifier,
Uh,
increases damage against mechanical and stone for herself, and then increases. Yeah, she's definitely. You'd want to use her LB. That's the problem. Whenever they give Entrust, you usually want to use the LB. That's where I run off. My biggest, like I said, my biggest problem with her is she has a bunch of skills. Even some of the weaker skills, if they were just set to something else, like it's just one family she works with. So there is a benefit to it because there is a Earth there, so you don't have to rotate characters to work with her elemental abilities. I just,
Well, they improved upon the JP version by making some of her families elemental because they were, they weren't the same way. I think they weren't like Earth element. The pile driver is now like AT, so that's Earth element pile driver. The only other existing unit that had Earth element in AT was Yigo. So that's actually pretty good,
yeah, but I
I
would
mean,
have
because
liked,
yes.
I would have liked this
we
Matt.
lacked Earth.
Yeah, but I would have liked Pile Driver and Groundwork to match as an ability chaining family, and then I would like something like the Light Work to be something different. Like Light Work could have been AR or something different. It would have been nice, or just any of these abilities. Like it's just like I said, it's just AE chaining, and that's all it is. It's like okay, she's gonna work with Axstar, and she's gonna work with Lastwall, and she's gonna work with a bunch of families, but
I honestly thought maybe they would make her like the units basically like Ayaka sharing two elements, light and fire. Make her do AT frames with light and fire. Just the way, they were basically doing aerial array with two elements. And I thought that was interesting. That basically made you try to think about two elements.
Well,
So I thought they
anyways,
were going to do that.
her biggest benefit is Shall We Dance, which increases her damage drastically, really quickly. Well, not quickly, because it is over 4
No, I was gonna
turns.
say, yeah.
Well, to me, the drastic change is pretty quick because the fact that it goes up very fast. And then she keeps her triple cast, but she's a mana whore for sure. And she's just
Hmm.
only AT, so she's not versatile. So you are stuck with a specific family. You are stuck with a
Yeah.
specific build fairly much, especially because she's limited to her guns.
And her name sucks, by the way.
Yeah, her name does suck, but I like her sprite. Her sprite's awesome. It's like the whole Bond thing
But
going on.
Yep.
Eileen,
anyway,
dressy
would you
Eileen.
pull for this unit?
Well, if the
God,
banner didn't suck
God no.
as bad as it was, I mean, I'm sorry. Just a quick note here. The banner is bad because it is is it 25k or is it 23k?
It's 25, I believe.
I thought it was
She
It's
gets.
25.
a 25k with a spiritual extra two pulls,
Yeah,
if
but
I'm
you
not
get
No, no,
mistaken.
it's
3
even worse. It's
rainbows.
even worse than that
Yep,
because if you want to go for the coins to get a guaranteed second one of
Oh,
these, you have to do
yeah. I mean,
that's
two.
what I said. Spiritual, two other pulls. Yeah,
No,
you know
no,
who?
no, no. Two
No, you need to,
laps.
you
You
need to
need to
go
do
all the way
two
through
laps
2 laps
plus.
plus
wow,
stuff.
So
Yeah.
either if you either have to do two laps and buy the bundle, or two laps plus another two pulls. I think it is. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna check
that's
that real quick.
ridiculous. That's
It's
ridiculous.
really bad. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you need.
This is one of
It's
the
2 laps
worst.
plus 10 coins. So
Yeah, it's one of the
yeah,
worst freaking banners I've seen in a while when it comes to it. Where the heck is the update?
yeah. But good thing these units aren't very good.
Oh, they could have been a lot more worthwhile to pull for if it wasn't this bad. Where's the Eileen thing? Where's the Eileen banner? I don't see it. Do you see it? Am I blanking?
Nope.
It's not. It's not gonna be here. That's the thing. It wouldn't
Oh,
be
okay.
here.
Well, I'll look it up
But
as we talk about
anyway,
the third anniversary.
yeah. So third anniversary event. It's a mocking event where basically all the CG protagonists in the Sworn Six, plus Axstar, Kimona Ayaka, and Dressy Eileen, are all bonus units. So essentially, you're gonna have a full, likely, unless you haven't been around very long, are gonna have a full team of bonus units for this mocking event, which is making this a very good event to farm because there's a lot of good stuff here.
Yeah, if you're gonna go for everything on any banner, it would be this banner.
Hmm. Mainly because, well, you likely already have a lot of these units, so it's highly likely that you're going to have a very high percentage to start. And on top of it, the 5k pulls on either the hero or the Sworn 6 banners are 10% and they guarantee you a rainbow. Those are very good if you're looking for these units. And while none of them are top tier anymore, really, but when
Well,
they get
until
their
they get
enhancements,
enhancement.
once they should be getting soon, wouldn't shock me if they get them this week. They end up all being very, very, very good.
Also, I know that Reagan will get an event update that's not like enhancements, where you go through kind of a story mission that will get him a lot of
Yeah, and
extra.
Lastwell too.
Last too, yeah.
Lastwell too. Yeah, that's they give them the true dual wield
Chain
bonus with the chain
chain
cap
cap.
and the increase the true dual wield amount.
Was it JP and JP were they the first ones to get it, or did someone else get it first?
Yes, they were,
Okay.
and they
So
got it, I believe, for their anniversary. Like the anniversary, they got that event where it was like an extra. It was like the side stories for all the pro tags. They added a couple more, and then doing them unlock those abilities for Reagan and Lastwell, and then all of the protagonists ended up getting their enhancements as part of the anniversary as well. So they could either get them this week, next week, we don't know, but they're likely to get them all at some point in July.
Yep.
Okay. Now, anyways.
So you
So if
when you go,
So if you're at 99 million gil, well, you'll have a reason to spend some gil more than likely.
Yep.
Unless you have the crap
So
luck that I have.
yeah. So you're also going into this event with practically 1200 bonus.
Right.
So yeah, 1200 bonus, and you can get a whole bunch of really great stuff out of this, including 50 third anniversary tickets, which you want to pick up immediately. We'll talk about that later. But the other things that are really great is a spiritual sword, which attack 54 and spirit at 125. This is currently the highest spirit sword in the game, I guess.
It's
And,
Awakened Rain's new best friend if you're still using Awakened Rain. It'll be great for
again,
CG
it's
Charlotte
any
too.
magic tank. It's good for CG Charlotte, who's coming out this week.
Really good for Merc Ramsar, really good for a whole bunch of other units, a whole bunch of things.
Yep.
Any magic tank base.
Spiritual defense, get that as well. That is an amazing TMR.
Another one, especially if you're using the spiritual sword, gives you another 50% spirit with HP and defense of 20%.
Yep.
And then
all
in
in harmony, another good one to get. I mean, that's
it
50%
is a harp,
spirit
but
with
it's
MP.
still good.
Well, I mean, we have the single-handed harp that you get from the 10-man trial that you can use with a shield or with another weapon or whatever. Yep. Or for a healer, it's not a huge deal if they're using a harp with two-handed.
Yep. That would be really great. It's a harp mastery, which is really nice.
And there's also 30% HP as a TMR.
Which is not bad.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's actually fairly cheap too, thank gosh. We don't need any more of this 150,000 stuff.
Yeah, well, the stuff looks expensive, but again, essentially it's not, because you're going to have 2-3 times more bonus than you normally used to for a mocking event.
Oh, another good thing to notice, Chocobo Hood and Chocobo Armor are wind resistant items. Get them.
Yep,
There's not a whole lot of wind resistant stuff around. So get them.
Nope. So this is a very good event. Tons of good stuff.
Not to mention the OC,
Yeah.
Well,
yeah. I mean,
those are just the normals.
Yeah, so. I mean, the thing is with the stuff is expensive, but it's expensive because we have tons of bonus units, and they expect you to have
all bonus.
Yeah, I mean, basically, they expect you, unless you like really just started, to have almost a full team of these CG units.
Well, it's either that, or you either have all the units, or you are doing the coming back quests, most likely.
Or you're doing those 10+1, the 10% rainbow, Sworn 6 and Hero Banner.
Don't remind me.
Those are very good. I mean, I know Awesome didn't have great luck, but 10% rainbow rates, and you're guaranteed a rainbow for 5k lapis, unless you have all these units and don't need any of them, because they're pretty much all good. I would definitely go for that.
There's nothing bad in either banner. There
are some that are worse than others, but
yes, but there's nothing
for the most
bad.
Part, they're all good.
And because you're getting a guaranteed rainbow, they're all
Jake's kind of bad.
His TM
Citra's kind of bad.
Well, Citra's actually a pretty decent healer / summoner / damage dealer at the same time.
All of the units, when they get enhancements, we'll have to review them again, because they may change drastically or not, depending on how.
Right, because we don't know what Global's gonna do.
Yeah. But yeah, Jake isn't bad, but he's TMR heavy.
We have an idea. Yeah, we have an idea based on what JP has, but I think they're gonna change them because the meta is different.
Yep. Because most of these units came back to the top tier and the top being top tier in the meta.
Especially
and if
Laswell.
they get the same buffs, yeah, if they get the same buffs they did in JP, they won't
Then,
be,
yeah, exactly.
but um, they're likely to get upgrades for sure.
I'm
Yeah.
You know,
crossing my fingers for
you know,
Sakura to get Bolting Strike.
Oh god, that'd be
JP gives people
fantastic.
like 4 abilities, and Global's good for giving people like 6.
Only recently though, but yeah, making us broke with Krists.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Well, speaking of being
So
broke with Krists, CG Charlotte is coming this week, so that's a story event.
Actually, let's talk about the
yeah,
player's voice campaign first, just because the fact that
well,
we
yeah. Let's jump into the actual third anniversary event from the live stream and what they covered.
Well, we still
And
have. I mean, as part of the third anniversary, you get Steel Castle Malfikia for 2 weeks. All of the rare abilities are activated, so if you have orbs, I would spend them.
and you're
Yep.
gonna get a lot more orbs from the third anniversary event.
Mm-hmm.
Too many damn orbs. Then there's the player's voice campaign, which please, for the love of God, go for 3. Super Trust Moogle Exchange ticket.
Yeah,
Everything else
yeah.
is
You
garbage
want,
compared to it.
yep. You want to guarantee yourself a Super Trust Mastery Moogle, 100%, because
It's so shiny.
the the 11 Moogles with the chance of getting a Super Trust Moogle might look good, but you know that the rate for a Super Trust Moogle is going to be so low, you're not going to get them. So you're better off just going and guaranteeing yourself 100%.
100%. Which means you
Mhm.
can A, use it all on one unit, or B, do 50% to do different units.
True.
Just a heads up. So you aren't thinking you
Yep.
can only use it on one character.
Yeah. And it's probably better off used on a limited time unit, because limited time units tend to have extremely strong STMRs, and they're actually a lot.
And they're also impossible to get randomly.
Yeah.
Mhm.
There is a new story event that they did mention, which is CG Charlotte, as Kuja mentioned. I mean, pretty much they told us we get the Silver's Knight's Gauntlet, which is 20 defense, 20 spirit, and boost ice and light resistance by 30%. Okay, not
Yeah.
bad.
That's a very good item. That's a very good item.
They've made some changes to CG Charlotte, so you can't really compare her to JP. So let's just wait and see what they actually show us that she has.
Right.
They
Um,
also announced
series
another
bosses.
unit that will be
Oh,
Yep.
coming at the end of July. The only first ever a global CG unit,
Yep. Elena.
Sorry. And she looks like a sword wielding um, hybrid unit.
God,
True double
Global loves
hand,
sword
true
units.
double hand, yeah, true double hand hybrid sword wielding unit who is going to be able to control 4 elements and their affinity, and she's based on she looks like a crystal. She's crystal based in her attack, so it's not going to be elements itself, but it's basically on crystal. So
Yeah. I mean, again, we don't know how the unit's going to be, but Global lately has tends to make broken units, and
global
with her
exclusive
being
unit.
with her being the first global exclusive CG unit, they're gonna make her
Probably gonna
strong.
Yeah, she's probably gonna be
She's
the best
yeah.
hybrid unit in.
No, she's probably gonna come out and be the best damage dealer in the game.
Another thing you might notice is the fact that her TMR is exclusive to her.
To her, yeah.
So
So
it's
her
similar to
TMR is
Sora.
not strong,
It's similar to Sora, where it's probably strong for her
but
and
not for anybody
not
else.
really worth having more than one, unless you plan on having 2 of her.
Right. But her STMR could be really good.
No ideas. I'm not gonna even guess about how it's gonna be.
Yeah.
We've heard some new news about series boss battles. Thank God, some new content.
Yeah.
I'm actually really stoked about
Yeah.
this.
We're getting these actually like 2 months early. Also, they're changing the way that the rewards are for these fights. Because in the JP version of the game, when you beat the boss after doing whatever the mission was, you would unlock abilities for your characters. And like for this one, Chaotic Darkness, this was the FFBE protagonist units. So like Laswell, Lid, Jake, Rain. I don't know. Was Awaken Rain? I think Awaken Rain was one of them.
He's
But
technically a
all the
pro tag, but
protagonist units.
I don't know if they count it because it's kind of weird how they did him.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's not
Well,
a
he's like
CT
a
unit.
season 1, and the other ones are season 2 characters. That's why.
No, not really. Because in JP he was the same time as. It's just the fact that he was released late. He
But
also
anyway,
didn't have a CT unit, but yeah.
they're doing a different way. They're gonna give you different rewards. So they're gonna give us actual rewards for beating this, and then we're gonna get a system that uses enlightenment points and it allows you to unlock abilities on units. And while this is, I mean, good and bad probably, because it's going to allow more units to get unlockable abilities, but you're not going to be able to probably unlock as many abilities as you would like if you with the JP version.
Okay,
Or it'd be
I do have
much
one thing to
harder to
say.
do it.
Why is it EP? Can't they think of another abbreviation? We already have event points. Now enlightenment points? What about upgrade points or ability points or something different? Don't call EP and EP and EP. It's like, oh, did you guys get the EP? What? Which one? Sorry.
Mm.
Small
Yeah,
annoyance.
I mean, anyway, they didn't tell us much, but again, they said we're getting the series boss battles in July, which means we'll be probably getting the whole EP system in July as well. They also said that we're getting a whole new chamber, which is going to be full of just global exclusive bosses. So they're going to give us different versions of, global exclusive bosses we fought in the past. And they said we're going to be getting a new boss every month.
This is
So for
awesome.
July, yeah, this is awesome because this is 100% totally brand new content.
I don't even care if it's new
Technically,
content. I'm just tired of what we've been doing.
Technically, we should have had this chamber before with the 2 other global trials.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should have,
anyway,
but I'm not going to complain that they're bringing it to us now. I
Yep.
want new content because it feels like everyone keeps comparing us to JP because we keep following JP other than the units.
Sort
It's
of.
like, well,
Yeah.
what's different besides the units?
I mean, we do have global exclusive stuff. We get global exclusive events.
Well,
But they've
People
been kind
complain
of
about them, but they do try different stuff, and that's the thing, and that's what I
the
don't
only one
like.
that we've had, was Wave Battle, and we've been having
No,
them.
that's not true.
no, the common
There was
one
a-
he's talking about.
We've had plenty of different kinds of global exclusive events, but people cry about them
Okay.
and don't give any feedback on how to make them better. It's just
Kuja,
this event's bad.
So Kuja, the reason why I don't count the raid bosses that use energy as an actual new type is because it's a raid boss that's just using energy instead of orbs.
Yeah,
But
so
it's not
kind
just
of
that.
mixed.
There's those exploration events we've had where you collect stuff to do stuff.
JP
That was
did
different.
JP did exploration events too. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just saying the only ones I can think of was Wave Battle, which I think they need to tweak that a little bit more before they get it. I wish they'd bring stuff back like the Skeleton King event where you had to do missions to get specific things to unlock another area. I thought that was a great idea. I thought the main issues that they had was too much energy and overly time consuming, so you couldn't actually
Same
make
thing with
multiple
the
attempts.
Christmas event that was terrible. Was again.
Well, that one was
the,
boring because it was basically just a raid using candy canes that you end up spending on stupid things. and then it
Well,
just costs
and
you
the
damn
thing is,
much.
it was overpriced. It was overpriced. Yeah.
Well, it was a combination of those three things, but yeah, it really didn't feel new because it was just previous content just done slightly tweaked, which I appreciate that they're tweaking content to make it different. I just want something, like just different. Like the Skeleton King was completely different than what we're used to.
Yeah, but he was too hard.
I don't care. If we
So
can't, if
so
people
they
can't
didn't
beat
do
him, they
that
can.
again. I know.
If people can't beat it, they can just
Hey,
bring it
hey,
around next year, which is what they did.
I agree. I 100% agree. But hey,
That's what I want them to do when they're saying they're bringing back new content, which is why I appreciate that we're getting new content with the global exclusive bosses.
It would have been, to me, it would be really nice if they kind of also tweak this to make 4-star battles.
Thought they
Like,
were going to do that, but they ended up not. They mentioned it before that they were doing it, and then
we
they
just
didn't.
don't know what they're doing. Essentially, they're changing the reward system for series boss battles, and they made it seem like the same thing for the Chamber of the Vengeful, where there's tiers of rewards that essentially you'd have to go and use different teams to fight them to get them. Meaning you could do a fight with one team to get the first set of rewards, but to get the second set of rewards, you couldn't use the same units over again. You had to use different ones. So it's forcing you to use different units, and the series boss battles might actually kind of force you to use some of the 3 and 4-star
maybe.
units for that
Yeah,
particular
it
game.
might. It might.
It might.
Yep.
We don't know, but it could do that.
Yeah.
So
I would prefer it is, that's the way it is, but we'll see.
All right, so was this the right thing?
but
No, no, that's the
yeah,
wrong thing. There is the comeback campaign going on. The rewards are really good, especially if you are
sort
not
of.
playing the game. Well, they're good for anybody who's not playing the game consistently right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
I mean, I know
suppose
there are a lot of people that are saying that comeback rewards are better than what we're getting for the anniversary, but if you really think about it, you had to be you had to have not played the game for 3 months, so you missed 3 months of events and all that stuff.
Oh no, I
And
think it's better, but I think that I was just trying to point out that there are good rewards with the comeback event.
yeah,
Um,
oh yeah, and then the more people that come back, we actually get 5,000 lapis if enough people. I think it's at the 100,000 people,
yeah, it
something
is
like that.
100,000. Yep.
Yeah.
Which is quite a bit considering they're free
Yeah,
for
but again, you're gonna
campaign
have
and
people that are. It's just people that start playing. So like there's gonna be reroll accounts that people are gonna.
Bring back.
We'll get to the 100. Yeah, we'll get to 100,000. Believe me, I don't think it'll be that difficult. I mean, come on. During the live stream, they were expecting us to get like 500 likes on the post, and we had like 5,000 before they even mentioned it. So yeah, and people, there's a ton of people that refuse to use Facebook in it at all.
Uh,
Same thing with the raid. They were expecting us to be at like 15, and we were at 15 within the first 2 minutes of the raid.
I was like, I logged in after it was at like level 30. I was like, holy crud! How high are we supposed to
Well,
go?
yeah, I mean, they literally They were explaining the rewards, and they're like, oh, when you get to 15, you get so many third anniversary tickets, and then people are like, hey, we're already at level 35, and that was like within the first 5 minutes of the live stream. So yeah, and we got a lot of rewards from the live stream. I mean, a lot of
we
free
got
tickets.
yeah,
Um,
let's just say we have tier of rewards and tiers of rewards compared to what people are complaining about.
yeah, well, I
uh,
mean, the main gripe is the third anniversary tickets, and I understand that. I don't think people realize that
it was a question that was supposed to be
to be
addressed, but
asked, and they
but
didn't,
it,
and they ran out of time, and they
yeah, they
did
just
answer it
after.
after.
So
Yeah.
what was the official answer, anyways?
Well,
Well,
it was answered to the people who went. They didn't
Oh,
actually publish
they've.
the answer,
Why didn't
but
they publish the? Did nobody publish the answer that even the
no,
people that went?
no. Well, yeah, no, they did, and they said basically the games are different, so they're going to handle us differently. They didn't say either way what they were doing, and
I,
then they mentioned there was also a Facebook post this morning saying that they understand people are upset and they're thinking of what they're going to do. I guess.
They honestly, they just simply should have just made an official, and they may do that tomorrow since
they
it's
really
gonna
need to
be
make it
Tuesday
official. They're
tomorrow.
kind of them putting it
I
off,
mean,
just making
honestly,
people antsy.
yeah. I mean, and the problem is they should have just given us the tickets. It's not that big of a deal.
Well, the other thing is they might give us the tickets. They might have been planning on giving us the tickets. It's just the fact that
Just,
if you haven't noticed, Global likes to spoon feed us rather than hit us with a fire hose. JP's just like, oh, we're just gonna give everything in the beginning and then call it good after that. Global
yeah, and we get
wants
it.
us to keep coming back, so they keep giving us little by little, and then we end up being about the same amount anyways. So I'm gonna guess they're gonna
Yeah.
kind of go that route, and that might be why they're saying we're different than JP. Which
Well,
again,
I
it can
mean,
be
I
annoying, but
understand what, but people's gripe mainly is that hey, I've been playing for so long, and with the third anniversary tickets, the way JP did it was you got 5 tickets per rank, and you got 1 ticket for every day you were logged in. So people that have been playing longer got more tickets and got more stuff.
I'd almost have 2,000
So
tickets if that was the case. So it's like,
same here. I'd have more than 2,000 tickets, but you know, if they, I mean, just from the few polls that we've done, to me it seems like the rates are boosted compared to JP. That might just be because Vagrant, Night Rain, and the Moogle are taken out of the pool completely.
thank God.
I know those units were
Yeah,
bad.
multiples of them serves you no purpose.
If
Right.
they made Vagrant Knight a 7-star, which they should have done, I would understand. I'm sorry, but Vagrant should be
Yeah,
a 7-star. It
he
But
is good
even
enough.
still,
He
he
is
wouldn't
good
have been a
enough
good one.
now.
he
He
wouldn't
is
have
good
That's
been.
enough
more away from
now.
He
garbage.
Yeah, he is good enough now that he actually could be.
Mm-hmm.
he's okay, and the fact that for a beginner that would be a fantastic 7-star. All it would be basically is a boost to the things. Do you have a couple cooldowns that would be beneficial? He's a unit that's in the story. He should have gotten some love, and the 7-star would have been enough love.
His
Maybe.
enhancements were really good.
Yeah, they were really good, but I mean, they were really good for a 6-star max. There are better 7-stars or 5-star base 7-star maxes than him. He would have been like, kind of like the what's it called? What's her face? Katy Perry. Katy Perry's the blue one is actually pretty good. She's actually
Yeah,
very
yeah.
good,
No, she is good.
and he could have been in that position very easily,
Mm.
but he's not.
I don't know. I'm just glad he's taken out of the pool for those because it waters down the pool, and we end up getting, regardless of what the rates are for everything, more of everything else and not of Vagrant, Night Rain, and Moogle.
My rates are still garbage, though. I've had really bad luck this week. I've done those 10% pulls and gotten only the guaranteed rainbows, and I've done 250 tickets, got one 5-star EX ticket, and a Moogle container, which I will appreciate the Moogle container, but only one 5-star EX ticket. It's like, I just see people like, oh, I got like 3 or 4 or UOC on top
I
of
know.
that, and it's like, oh god, it makes my brain hurt.
Yeah, I know. I've seen a lot of that. I've seen a lot of people saying they get multiple Moogle containers, and then you go back and you look at the post from JP, and people are using like 2,000 tickets and getting one. And I've seen more than one, more like tons of people that say they get multiple Moogle containers in these like 270 tickets we've gotten already, which is crazy. I mean, granted, people
Yep.
could be lucky and they could be the same rates as JP was, but
It just feels different.
just putting it out there that it might be we get less tickets, but the rates for our better rewards are higher,
No.
and you
See,
end up getting
if you say it that way, you have to say the rates are better than.
wow, that was terrible.
And I'm a dad. I get the privilege of saying dad jokes.
And why are you dead? Because I have kids.
I have kids. How do I
Wow.
reach these kids? I have twins is probably a better way of saying it. I have twins, and they are 3.
Okay, so moving on to the next item.
Which is
Well,
what?
I don't know what the next item is actually.
I think that's it.
No, are you guys watching the well, sorry, I assumed you were watching third anniversary on
I didn't get the
global exclusive day.
I didn't get the
On what?
chance to. I was out
Can
of town.
could you open can you open it right now? Like, do you have the third anniversary link
I
in
had the
the
third
global
anniversary leak, and I showed everything
Yeah,
that
we
was in
talked
it.
about everything. Yeah, we talked
No,
about everything.
they talked about two things. I remember two things that we were supposed to mention. Um, the ideas of the PC
Oh,
version, the PC version of the game, right?
Which we might
They
never
talked
get.
about it.
yeah.
No,
They
no,
said
they actually said we are looking into it.
they're
However,
well. The problem is that they're saying that they are looking into it, but the difference between JP and Global is JP has a way to
Platform to
platform.
get
do it.
a platform for it, and Global doesn't. So they're trying to
Yes.
figure out how to do it.
So they literally
Which,
have to
Yeah.
reprogram the Android setup to
yeah,
work in PC,
They
or
would
they'd have to
actually
emulate it.
have to make, yep, they would have to make their own emulator or their
hmm
own platform to run it. And chances are it's going to be perhaps it's an emulator because the platform itself might be too much, you know.
Depending on what it is, it might be just a reprogrammable offense because it is OpenGL, which is actually common for PC. So they might be able to, if they take the source code, they might be able to reprogram it based in that with a few minor tweaks. But that really completely depends on how they programmed it. And
Yep.
they
Right.
probably programmed it to be super, well, they probably attempted to program it to be super efficient with phones. So, in my opinion, they'll probably be stuck with an emulator. Not saying they will be, but
All right. It
it,
just it put it this way, it's a little bit more difficult than you would think to get this to work for PC.
yeah, it's like saying
They're
like
working
Right.
they're working on it, but they're not guaranteeing that they'll be able to do it.
a good way of pointing
The
this
other
out
thing
is
that they
if you
address.
a good way of
Mhm.
pointing this out is the fact that if you look at PC and you look at Mac, watch them port a game from PC to Mac and go, this Mac port is atrocious. That's what this could be if they try to do it without an emulator.
hmm
Yep. And not to
Exactly.
mention, they would have to double their testing team if they have to test for PC version stuff as well. That's gonna come
Yeah.
out, you know.
But anyway, the other thing I think you were talking about is there is a new campaign that they're going to basically they're doing the create your unit again.
Yep.
So
Yep.
they there's different categories. There's a category for each type of unit. So healer, buffer, debuffer, physical damage, mage, tank. They're all there. And it's, if you want to create a unit and submit it, you might be able to get your unit into the game. So it's definitely a good thing.
Yep. So make a unit.
Uh, I'm really sad. There's no zombie status.
Not yet.
I,
Not yet. That comes, I think, later.
I want to be
Mm-hmm.
able to kill myself.
Okay.
I'm just messing. I used to cheese bosses in Final Fantasy games by zombifying myself.
What do you mean? You already have zombie status because you have kids.
I have kids. Yeah. Oh wait, did we ever speak of the scorn of the Lynch? Lich? Lynch.
Well, no, that's there.
Um,
It's another trial.
it's
Let's put a linchpin in that.
I hate you so much, Zero. Anyways, it comes with the spear known as Longinus, which
Yep.
is 191 handed, I assume,
Yes.
Yeah, it's a
and
one-handed spear.
very killer. Well,
75%. Really strong.
hey,
Very killer.
hey, I Kuja, you better not touch the spear. It is a fairy killer.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. It didn't turn out really very good. Um,
That was terrible.
he only got put in the Intanger,
Yeah.
which
You
because he's
mean
the
the
first.
indignant?
Yeah, Indignant. That's what it was. Because he's the first. He should have been put in the regular one, in my opinion, but he didn't. So.
Yeah, because he's not a scorn enemy. He's the first enemy of his kind.
Yep, but he didn't
Yeah.
get put there.
But it doesn't matter.
We scorn
You,
him anyway.
you're gonna go and fight him anyway, so who cares?
Yeah, but the only problem with it is, don't you have to defeat Greg before you can fight this guy?
Yeah.
So.
Greg and the octopus creature too, I think.
We have an update where we're gonna get half energy off all of these chambers and the story event, and you're also gonna get an additional 50% Moogle for completing the first season and the second season. 50% for one season and 50% for the next season. I'm not sure if it's gonna be at the actual end of the season or where it's implemented at the moment. All right. Um, yeah, that's just an additional stuff that they have going on for the third anniversary that they're giving us as well.
Yeah, and basically just log in. We're
All
gonna
right.
get rewards. So, yeah.
All right. So because I are smart, and I remembered that I did want to look at the Eileen and Ayaka banner. It is 2 steps plus the first step. So you were spending 55,000 lapis to get a guaranteed prism of one of these two.
Yep, not worth it.
I remembered why I didn't like it. This is atrocious. This 25k is awful. I
For mediocre units.
The units are not fantastic enough. Like, I like the units. If this banner was not this bad, I might have pulled for them. But this banner is infuriatingly bad.
Yeah. The units are 6, 7 out of 10 for the best. For the most.
I love the sprites though. Another thing we need to look into is there's the third anniversary summon that is currently out, and it is a 5k pull with one rainbow, one gold, and one coin. I'm not
Oh yeah.
exactly sure what's all on it. If everything on here is what's on it, it's all fantastic units except for Yigo.
Yeah, basically. I mean, it's all the new. It's a lot of the newer units.
A lot of
Um,
new, relevant, useful units, except for Yugo.
Yigo's
yeah,
awful,
and
but she was
then
bad when she came out.
yeah, you get coins to get their prisms, I believe. Or is it the unit?
So you
I
need
think it said
5
prism.
coins to get the prism and
Well, as
1
far
coin per
so
pull.
far, honestly, so far as from what I can see in the game, the coins only reward big spenders. So you really don't benefit even going one round. Like you have to go a couple of times or 3 times or whatever. It really doesn't appeal to a person doing it once or twice. No, it's you have to do it
Yeah,
a good bit of times
So
for it
but
to
the
actually be
only
worth it.
thing I have to say is we've got some significantly good banners coming up soon.
Yeah, so this
So
is a really,
I mean, even though these are good units, if
and
you're
I really,
really
really,
new,
yeah,
it's a good banner. If you're not new and you have decent units currently, I wouldn't even pull on it.
so
yeah.
for me, the only
I
units
really
that
want Beowulf.
I would like Wolf too, but I don't have a single one, so it's not worth it. So the only units that are not great in this banner, other than Yigo being awful, Ultima Seraph has kind of fallen off. She's decent, but she's kind of fallen off. Crimson is decent, but not like meta breaking.
His value has gone up. I will say the fact that he chains his LB with Regime makes him significantly better, only because of that fact.
You are going to need a macro to chain those two though, because they're not close at all
I
in
think
reality.
Yeah.
they are.
No, no, no. The timings are off enough where it pretty much is luck to get it.
Breaks.
Yeah, you'd be lucky not to break it. Um, and then the last one is definitely Nagi. Nagi is a good unit, not good enough compared to the rest of them.
Yep.
Edgar is a
Her
fantastic
mods are
breaker,
strong.
Beowulf
Yeah.
is a fantastic breaker. Sabin is a good damage dealer in a specific family.
Yep.
Outside that family, he's
Lilla.
meh. Um, yeah, well, there's Lilla, there's Red 13, there's a few
Sorry,
others.
I had something in my throat.
I know. Um, of course, Xeno is one of the strongest units in the game currently, as
Yep.
well as
Esther,
Esther
Zeno, Sylvie.
and
Yep,
Sylvie.
and
Sylvie.
Sylvie.
And then there's also Lid and Fultra, or whatever people call
Fid.
Fid.
Fid and Fultra.
Fid and Fultra.
Yeah.
And then, well, Edgar
So
is good, but not great. He's up there, though. He's pretty much tied with Beowulf, but the best breaker is probably Fid right now in this banner.
yeah. So you can get good units off the banner. I just think that, yeah, those units are good. I would still wait for the next kind of jump in units.
Yeah,
Like
So-
even
The reason
even waiting for a unit like for
Charlotte.
Charlotte is a better use of your lapis.
Yeah, well, there's no tanks in
Yeah,
this
the
banner,
thing
but
is-
yeah. The reason
thing
why
is,
I would go for this banner.
these-
Sorry. Go ahead, Zero.
I was just saying that the game has a very nice strategy right now of making you burn the lapis by making these really great deals. And I'm not saying they're bad deals at all. They're making really great deals before the better or the targeted banners arrive, so that you basically
Yeah.
you lack the lapis, so they want you to get the lapis to get to go on these.
Plus,
So
on
they're
top of that,
Yeah. So right now they're rewarding us in the 3rd anniversary with a lot of lapis, and they're basically giving us the opportunities to spend it.
Yep.
Right.
and they're giving you good bundles in the shop as well to buy
Yep.
lapis.
All right. So
And yeah, all the bundles are good in the bundle shop. All the values are higher than the vault. So if you're gonna spend, definitely spend on the bundles. They're all pretty good. Usually they're subpar, but at least for the 3rd anniversary, they gave us pretty good ones.
all right. So the way I feel about this banner is if you're new, I would pull on this. And it's not
Yep,
because
for
I'm
sure.
trying to say, oh, well, the other banners aren't as good. The other banners are probably going to end up being better, but this has two things that I think are fantastic about it. A, it's a guaranteed rainbow every turn, and it's going to be limited to these units, the 14 units. Oh, there's 14 featured units, so there's more than just the ones on here.
Are the rates increased as well?
I don't think so.
I do not believe so, but I can't click. There's
So-
no rate button, which is really annoying, and I don't know all the units because it says there's
The only thing
14
is-
featured units.
I have to disagree with you on that. I would rather, and I think it's better if you're new, to pull on the Veritas or the Hero banner, because those units are all good.
And the rate is
And
10%.
the rates are 10%. Plus, you still get your guaranteed rainbow.
All right, well, if you would
And the
let me
pools are
finish.
smaller. The pools are both smaller, also.
Yeah, that is true. The only reason, like I said, that I think the units here are currently better. You will get enhancements, but if you are new, you can't afford to do enhancements. This is where I was going with that. Chris are uncommon. You get them during the banner. You will have to farm the heck out of Chris to be able to enhance those units in the other banner. These units are already top tier. Esther and Xeno especially. Those two are the easiest units to build in the game for new players. Fid is
Yep.
extremely strong. And there's
One
a
of the
lot
best
of units
breakers,
that are
support.
great. They're not the most bestest of the units, but none of them are terrible except for Ego.
For you.
For Ego, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Nagi's also on the pretty bad side, too. Though.
I don't think she's bad. I just don't think she's great. I think she's fine.
Yeah, but she's not great, and she's garbage tier for someone who's new, because
But
hybrid
anyways,
units need a lot of love.
they do need a
Just
lot
saying.
of love. But the last part about it is the fact that you get these coins. So within 5 coins, you're going to have 5 guaranteed rainbows, and a prism, a guaranteed prism where you
Mhm.
can pick the unit you've got. And the unit you
Yep.
can get is basically of the units. So actually, maybe this has all 14 units. I'm going to check that real quick.
It's more like a mercy prism, in my opinion.
It is a mercy prism.
If you
I
try,
will not
Is it a
argue that at
prism or
all.
is it the
It's
unit?
a prism.
Yeah.
So we got Seraph Ultima, Beowulf. These three are good, good, good. Golbez is probably the weaker of the mages. Axar's good, but not as good as Zito.
Crimson.
But
He's there.
Nagi's decent, not good or great. Ego's bad. King Edgar's good. I think Sabin's fantastic. Uh, Fid and yeah, you get a pick between all those units that we've mentioned. Guaranteed 5. It is a prism, so if you don't get one, you're probably going to get stuck picking one of the 5 that you got rainbows of. But all of these are good units except for Ego. They're not all great. Most of them are great. Like Crimson's great, even if you were going to say that he has his faults, he does. Beowulf's a great breaker. Esther's fantastic. She's, in my opinion, still the best damage dealer, but that's just my opinion. Sylvie's the best, if not one of the best um, support characters. It's hard to say no to this one because I will admit, if you're in the game longer and you have the Krists and you have the Gil and you have all that stuff, then yes, the bundles with the Veritoses and the protagonists are better. I
Way
will not
better.
argue that. I'm just saying for new people who need units that don't need to be upgraded, that are good now, I think this banner is better for them. And those are
Yep.
my stipulations with that banner. You have to be
Yeah, I mean,
new and you
another
have to be
thing to think
poor.
of though for the Veritas and the Hero banner is you're covering all of your roles. The uh, the other banner doesn't cover all the roles. So you're
What
covering
tank?
your
Oh,
damage. Eh,
what
there's
magic
no tank
tank?
or healers.
Yeah.
Awaken Rain.
Oh yeah, there's Awaken Rain. I forgot about Awaken Rain. Yeah, you're right. There's every person in that one. Again, if you only get one though, it's gonna be really rough.
No, I know, but I mean, again, there's the pool is smaller. So if you want a magic tank and you pull on that banner, you're obviously your chance is higher to get a
Because there's
magic
no
tank
magic
than on
tanks
the
in the
other
other one.
banner.
Yeah.
There's no magic tank. But
The
again, you're
breaks, the
pulling
breakers are better in the
against.
new tank and the new banner though, until there's the updates. The damage dealers are miles better
Well, I
than
mean,
the new ones. The only benefit the
lid.
Veritas and the heroes have currently is the fact that we have the Chocobo event going on. But again, I'm focusing
Yeah.
on brand new characters who are poor. They've got the Lapis, but they're poor money wise and Christ wise. I'm not trying to be like it's the best banner. I'm saying for people who can't afford to enhance units, it is the better banner.
And the thing is, right? I will also give a point to the Sworn Six and those banners. Even though they are going to be enhanced, you can guarantee that they're going to give these units love because it's theirs.
Yeah.
Right?
And the
So
fact that
yeah.
the 10% rate's big deal.
Whereas the other units, if they are enhanced, that doesn't mean that they're going to be good in any way. Where
Well,
you can
I'm pretty
basically
sure
guarantee
Esther
that
and Sylvie are gonna be fantastic, and probably Zeno too,
Yeah, but
because
again,
well, there's a
those are ways
global
away.
exclusive. Those are
they're
global
a long
exclusive.
ways away. Like
Which
minimum
is a
probably
benefit
8-9 months.
actually, not necessarily a downfall. Like I said, a lot of new people cannot afford. They can barely afford to make 7 stars, let alone afford enhancements. And that's why I think, like I said, I think that banner is good for beginners, not middle tier and upper
Guys,
tier units.
Guys, wouldn't it be really funny if they do the enhancements and Axstar is basically gonna be at least Xeno level or probably better with enhancements?
Yeah, but he still requires his katana to be decent, and that requires four of him.
Unless we get another unit katana.
Okay, I will hold my breath for that one.
We no, I mean we have been surprised with this Soul Saber with we got a two-handed sword the week before, right? So I mean they
Well,
could throw in a two-handed katana
that
Yeah,
if
it's
Soul
gonna
they
be
Saber
want.
existed
Garbo
in
though.
JP though.
Yeah, it did.
Mm.
In JP, they've still, other than Axar's katana, there has been no other two-handed katana.
I know, but I'm saying we got stuff that they didn't get. We could get it, in a
No,
King
I
Mod
mean
event.
he's right in that way too. That we do get some stuff that they don't get. They do give us different items sometimes,
Oh, I'm not
and they
arguing that
could.
fact.
But again, if they do that, it's not gonna be. It's gonna be like 100 attack katana that's two handed.
It's still better than a
Yep.
140 or 150 attack single-handed katana. The variance is that big of a difference.
Yep. Um, is there any other closing words in terms of speculation about what we might get or what you guys want in the game?
I'm happy. I
Um,
want the four-star battles because I think it'll force people to think about how they do things. But my biggest worry is when they introduce four-star battles, we need a way to enhance our four-star units. They need to find a way
I
of getting
agree.
us more
I agree.
crysts.
I need them
Chris,
to either reduce or edit, change the way that we either get Chris or use Chris. Either one.
either one would work fine. I did make a suggestion to use Zero a while back where it's similar to how we get six-star bonus units. I think we should be able to buy crysts in that manner as well.
Yeah.
Um,
I think that it really really need that's becoming a pretty big problem the longer.
it's just it's too expensive, and that's why like I said for new people, crysts are too damn expensive, and there's they're too gosh darn
It's
expensive.
almost like rent. It's almost like rent. It's too damn high.
Right in California. Oh man.
But outside of that, see a big future for global. It's diverting a lot now from JP, and I'm kind of excited to see where it goes. I'm not sure about you guys, but things are looking up for us in terms of activities and different. I really hope they don't make certain aspects of the game more grindier than they are because we already invest time once we have a lot of events to this game. That's the only problem I would say that kind of a big thing if you're especially if you're a person who has kids or work. you know?
Well, I don't even care to mention the fact that because I play this game way too much, even with kids. Um, it doesn't matter. Even with the amount of time I put into this game, I'm always struggling to keep up crisp for units. I just want to try, not necessarily be like I need all of them done. But they give us all these options and all these different ways to play the game, and then they basically put it behind a cage and say, you have to pick a certain way to play and stick with it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I should be able to find a way of getting more crisps, or they should just reduce the cost of crisps. I don't care either way, so I can level up four-star units. Because four-star, I've ever since they've introduced four-star things, I think I've enhanced three four-star units, and they're because I didn't have a tank,
Yep.
and I haven't touched four-star units ever since. We don't even cover four-star units hardly anymore when it comes to enhancements because there's no reason. The crisps are too damn expensive, and the gill is too damn expensive for anybody who wouldn't
Yep.
just use a five-star. And if they didn't
And it's
introduce,
and it's sad because the company themselves invest so much in terms of animating and making these units. So
and
you
they just get
healed.
thrown to the wayside because you can't play with them. I mean, hell,
Yep.
I don't need the biggest and baddest every time I play the game. I could play with something unique. Like, there's not many options for like, what's that one chick with the axe, Olga? There's nothing like Olga around.
Hmm.
But are you gonna find anything to be able to do it? No. You're
I
just
love the design of Sidonia. I love the design of I love Olga. I love a lot of these, and I can't play them. It would be nice to kind of like want to play them. Like they're being enhanced, and I don't even know they're being enhanced, and I can't even use the unit. Like for instance, Watto. I was like, man, maybe I might try Watto sometime. And like, oh, he got enhancements. I still can't play him because he's not worth using.
yeah. I really wish they'd update that a bit, but I can understand not making it the cheapest things in the world because you want people to work for it. But even if you work for it and this current game setup, you still can't enhance a third of what you want to enhance. Like I basically have to enhance meta units and that's it. Like I just enhanced Medina and it took a year's worth of black crystals basically thrown into her. At least that's how it felt. Because what was it? It was there's 8 pure crysts that go into her. No, it was more than that. 12 pure crysts that go into her. Holy
Cow.
yeah.
Word you were gonna use.
I don't know what that would gonna use because I'm just freaking mortified by how much she costs. I still did it because she's a great unit. But just because she's a great unit doesn't mean that they need to jack the prices up drastically. Because that means nobody's going to pay attention to Renoa
Well,
or
this
oh
is a, honestly this is a problem that the game had from the start, and I always criticize it. Is that for you to create, it actually costs you more to level a lower level unit than a higher level one because you just go higher. You go with one step. You just go from 4 to 5. But if you want to go from 3 to a 6-star unit, you have to raise them once, add up some materials, raise them again, add some materials, raise them again, it's a lot more painful. And now that you have to do that with crysts as well, you know, in terms of you spend about the same amount that you would for a 5-star unit, it's detrimental. It's really painful that you have so much to invest in a older. It's really you know, what's the word I'm trying to use here? It's discouraging to use a 4-star unit.
yeah. Well, anyways, I hope they can figure out a way of figuring out a better way to do it. Like I said, I made a couple suggestions, but I mean, they're still not going to be enough for how much they cost, unless they completely throw a crap ton in the shops. So, um, Kuja, is there anything you'd like to add on to the discussion?
No.
All right.
All right. Thank you very much for joining us, guys.
If you'd like
Grandshelt.
to throw suggestions out, we also have our Discord that's down below. Come join us. We welcome people in our chat. It's completely open currently. Uh, have a good evening.
Ciao.